I am in the southern capital of Kazakhstan, Almaty city. Almaty is the biggest city and the main metropolis of the country, situated at the foot of the Transilli-Alatau Mountains. The modern city was founded in 1854 as Verny military fortress. The settlement carried this name up until 1921. Today, Almaty is the cultural, financial, and commercial heart of Kazakhstan, surrounded by stunning nature. Here we have the main attractions of the country. The nightlife is humming. Tourists from across the globe come to see Almaty. Near the city, you can visit Chimbulak Ski Resort and Medao Ice Skating Rink. Almaty amazes its guests with its hospitality and unique atmosphere. My plan for today doesn't include the market, but one of the best butcheries of Kazakhstan is on the list. I'm curious to find out how the meat is prepared before arriving at the stores. At the same time, there will be a nice chance to choose something for my dishes. Today in my kitchen, I'm going to cook juicy steaks and the tenderest hamburgers, but instead of a patty, I will use a sirloin. I am in a butcher and right now I'm going to pick the freshest meat. Steak is a very fine dish, and the right steak is the one which usually remains juicy after cooking for 10 to 15 minutes. Such steaks from the beef back ribs are prepared in special stores. It's young bullock's meat. Sure enough, the meat must be fermented for 21 days. This fermentation can be dry or wet, and it is a very important procedure because otherwise your meat is going to be extremely tough, so it can no longer be called a steak. Hello and once again, welcome to my kitchen. The grill and the meat are ready, and today we're gonna prepare gorgeous steaks. Almaty region is surely full of sights, but mostly it's a culinary meat place. We'll prepare traditional food in the future, but today we're going to focus on steaks and steak burgers made with our Almaty meat, local ribeyes. We have purchased this amazing ribeye steak. We're about to roast it on charcoal grill outdoors. For steak burgers, we've bought these amazing filet mignon cuts or tenderloin steak. So we place the steak or steaks, if there is a few in front of ourselves, and using the napkin remove excessive moisture. Oh yes, the steak shouldn't be wet. It must be dry because we want to have a beautiful crust. Professionals call this process sealing the steak. After removing the moisture, apply oil onto the steak. You can use any kind of oil, but preferably refined, not for the steak to absorb its smell. The less the oil smells, the better it is. Pepper. You can use small or bigger pepper, bash it while fresh and rub it into the steak. I also like checking meat with my hands to measure how soft and tender it is, whether the salt was put, etc. That's why I cook without gloves. We have added salt and pepper, therefore marinating the steak. Now it's ready to be fried. For our hamburgers, we're using filet mignon. At this moment in time, you will learn 4 ways how to prepare this steak and replenish our hamburger. Look. First, such a beautiful and even steak. Cut it in half. Make 2 small pieces. So I didn't cut it till the end, but spread it out like a butterfly. Basically, we will have such mini steak today in our hamburger. Second option, I have a tenderloin which is a bit smashed. I tenderize it with a knife. If you have a meat mallet, use it. Our meat is very soft and it will immediately turn into mince. Guys, you see, these fibers are torn even with the blunt side of the knife. Do the same on the other side. This is the second option. Let's start with the third. Third, I cut the steak but not till the end. I'll cut it into cubes. The meat has to roast until it has a tender golden brown crust. For this purpose, I'm cutting and chopping our steak. It looks like a flower. Certainly, this is a hamburger. When you eat and bite it, this will be easier. You will spread every bite evenly. Fourth option, we will cook this steak entirely. We aren't going to do anything with it but prepare it in this manner. Friends, it's all the same. Remove excessive moist from our steak with a tissue. Oil. We need oil because the grill temperature is extremely high, over 350 degrees Celsius, which makes a crust immediately. We will put coals on one half of the grill and leave the second empty. What for? You will see. Salt. Guys, add just a little. Today we're adding pickled cucumbers, that's why we don't need much salt. Pepper. Pepper gives a glamorous flavor to the meat. I apply spices only on one side. Added to that, my friends, we have coriander, a marvelous spice. I'm going to allocate lovely coriander for 2 steaks, not for 4. So I'll season 2 other steaks with spices made of more than 5 different herbs. Flatten it with all. Send for recipes of our beautifully tender and incredibly moist steak. It's time to set the coals on fire. It means setting enough heat for our gorgeous steak. I've chosen these charcoals made of birch. Today we're using this tool called a starter. With its help, I can heat the coals in 10 minutes. Before preparing the food, I recommend that you measure the quantity of charcoals. 1 pack is enough to prepare incredibly moist ribeye steak and filet mignon used for hamburgers. Well, guys, I've prepared some paper to burn. It starts burning right away. Throw some kindling at the bottom of the starter. Here it is netted. That's it. We're burning the kindling. The process has started. Meanwhile, let's prepare our vegetables on the grill. It's going to be our side dish. Let's start preparing grilled veggies. We don't need to chop them finely. Today I'm using zucchini, tomato and onion. If you like pepper, use it. If you like eggplants, use them. Since they're called grilled veggies, you can use any vegetables. The only thing that remains unchangeable is the way of cutting. Cut them into pieces no less than 1 centimeter long. If you cook the vegetables on an open fire, they will roast and bake inside, moreover, will remain crispy. Basically, this is all we need for grilled veggies. Chop zucchini in such big pieces. We'll roast our tomatoes this way, and at the end, place tender parts of tomato on the grill. What are we going to do with an onion? You can cut it either into circles or halves like this. Look, We're gonna roast them well. How about marinating our vegetables a bit? The marinade is so simple. The whole thing just needs some oil, salt and pepper to taste. On top of that, I always add garlic to grilled veggies. Press the garlic with a knife, make 2 or 3 cuts, send it to the charcoal grill. Garlic should release all intense flavor onto the vegetables. Mix our veggies, put them aside for a while, let them rest, and wait for their shiny moment and further cooking. Pay attention to the coals. Our coals have heated, I see how red and hot they are. But I have left half of the grill with no coals, and this part is called indirect grilling, where we'll finish cooking our steak. On the other side of the grill, where the coals are burning intensely, we're planning to make a crust. This means if you want to prepare your favorite steak, cook the rest of the meat on the side with no direct coals. Place our steak. The heat is gorgeous. I hear the meat sizzling. The steaks are starting to come together. Do not miss the moment with the crust. Don't go anywhere. Stand near the charcoal grill. Look, only 20 seconds have passed. The crust needs to become golden brown, then we can turn the steak on the other side. This is an outstanding crust. The hamburgers with steak from tenderloin are going to be unique. Speaking about vegetables, they're done with marinating. At this moment, after getting their golden crust, I'm moving the meat into the coal-free one. Accordingly, the empty space will be occupied with grilled veggies. I'm making the crust and putting it into the coal-free zone. Once again, turn the steaks over. The bone and ribeye is just stunning. The hamburger cut is ready. Roast it. Now is the time for the grilled veggies. In fact, I've salted grilled vegetables only now because if you add salt too early, they'll give out too much moisture and won't be as juicy as what's needed. Place the grilled vegetables neatly. They will be cooked in 4 to 6 minutes. Friends, the zucchini will need to be prepared a lot longer than the tomatoes or pepper, if you add it. Therefore, every vegetable has its own cooking time, but the main thing is for them to become grilled, golden and beautiful. The steaks are ready. Let them rest. Do not eat the steak straight from the oven. Give it a 5 to 6 minutes break so that the internal juice spreads out to the fibers. Gorgeous, gorgeous ribeye steak. We'll eat it all now. Dear friends, the vegetables are done, just take them out. We'll serve them together with the steak. Let it rest a bit more. Our steak is ready. A beautiful piece of meat. And now we'll serve our dish with grilled veggies. Today we'll make sauce from katık and also add curd. Yes, for many of you it's a new recipe discovery. Rub some curd on our grilled vegetables. Simply try it. The salty taste of the curd, grilled veggies, and the smoky scent, it's gorgeous. When organizing grilled vegetables, try to serve them as appetizing and as nice as possible. Big portions. The onion in the shape of boat. The tomato is finely fried. So, my friends, katik is a sour milk product. So, I apply yogurt on our grilled vegetables, simply in drops. Apply evenly. Add some pepper and rubbed curd. This dish is ready, and now we'll begin with the hamburgers. Almaty-style ribeye steak with grilled veggies. Before cooking, marinate the ribeye beef steak in oil, salt, pepper, and spices. Burn the coals for the grill and for the charcoal grill. Place the steak onto the grill. Roast it on strong fire for 1 to 2 minutes on each side, which will seal the steak. Transfer it to the grill that isn't red hot or to additional grill and bake until required doneness. I've added an extra 2 minutes for each side. Chop the vegetables into big pieces, marinate them in oil and spices, fry and grill and bake on cooking coals. Add salt only before roasting or before eating. While serving, add katik, season with herbs, and rub curd. I've also heated these sesame buns on fire. Place the bottom part of the buns on the cutting board and use salad leaves, pickled cucumbers, and onion. Generally, I try to fill the hamburger with some content. Firstly, put the salad leaves, because if you add sauce, it can be dissolved by the bun, this way crushing into parts. We don't want this. We need the right burgers. Next, add the sauce. Hamburger must be juicy. Add some barbecue sauce, which goes perfectly well with katik. Now cut the onion and cucumbers and add it to the bottom layer. Then place the steaks, adding some onion, cucumbers, sauce, and cover it all with a bun. I cut the gherkin in about 2 millimeters. Filling its taste won't let us oversalt the hamburgers. Cucumbers. Red onion is a perfect match for hamburgers. When you serve the guests, red onion ring will look beauteous in the hamburger. Well, the bottom is ready, and now we can insert our steaks. Each steak was prepared in a different way. Chopped steak, tenderized steak, and wholesome steak, which we haven't touched. Add some gherkins on top. Friends, remember about tomatoes? I advise that you pick big tomatoes for the hamburger. Simply slice tomatoes in such circles and place the patty on top, or in this case, the steak. 4 hamburgers are almost ready. On top of the 2 hamburgers, I'm adding curd, natural yogurt, and covering that with our sesame bun. Well, my friends, we are done. Today I have shown you how to prepare international dishes using domestic Kazakhstani products. Welcome to the table, everyone. Burgers with tenderloin. Prepare the beef tenderloin to taste. Tenderize, cut into 2 halves or leave it wholesome. Add salt, pepper to taste, and apply oil. Roast the steaks for the burgers on the grill. Seal them for a minute on each side and cook on additional grill until desired doneness. Cut the buns into 2 parts and, if you wish, warm them up on the cold grill. Place salad, chopped vegetables on the bun and use katik instead of mayo. For the savory taste, replace salt with grated curd. Cover with the second half of the bun and set the table. The meat in Kazakhstan is extraordinarily tasty in traditional as well as modern interpretation. But in order to make sure, give it a try personally. I invite you to join my culinary tours, enjoy the delightful flavors and breathtaking landscapes. I'm always happy to see you in my kitchen.